Hi there, and welcome to Deep in the Bunker. Today, new video on bugging out. So, what do you need to bug out for 24 or 48 hours? And today's video is going to be concentrating on the food you need in a survival scenario. So, a bug out scenario, or any scenario. Say you want to go camping for 24 hours by yourself or with a partner. This food will be lasting you, and this will cover your ability or inability to cook. So you can eat hot or cold, or as you want. So not in every scenario will you have the time to get everything together. Not everyone's got their car loaded with cooking utensils, fuel for cooking, etc. But if you have, good for you. So here we go. Just going to grab the camera and we're going to have a look at a few things I've compiled together. So, in case of bug out. So first of all, we're going to start with the inability to cook. So very simple things like your breakfast biscuits, your oat biscuits, packed full of fibre, vitamins, etc. They're great for you. You can eat them throughout the day, and that's a pack of 6 there, and that's going to last you a hell of a long time. 300 grams, probably bung you up in the end, but hey, never mind. But if you've got the ability to cook, we're going to move on to things like oats. So porridge. Yeah, cook yourself that, 10 minutes, it's ready, in some milk, some milk powder, water, add together, boil it off, and you're good to go. So even simpler, you've got things like your breakfast tins. You could have bean sausages. This personally one is bean sausages, bacon, mushrooms, and little chunks of potatoes in there. Okay, so vegetarians forgive, but that's how it is. And even if you've got more of an advanced thing, you've got a proper pan, bacon grill, absolutely fantastic stuff. It does taste like bacon, surprisingly, and it'll do you. It will. All these things are designed to keep you going. So breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and this is a little selection of what you should have. Back to the porridge. I've said before about using quinoa, and I'm thoroughly believe in it. So mix some quinoa in with these sachets, and 10-minute boil, and you've got one hell of a protein-packed breakfast. Okay, so moving on from breakfast, you've got lunch. Okay, so the very basics of lunch, something to keep you going, is things like pate, crackers or Melba toast, whatever, sardines in tomato sauce, absolutely wonderful. With that, you'll want some, and that's the inability to cook section. Okay, to go with your lunch, you'll probably want some nice fruit to go with it. So you've got little sachets. It looks like a baby sachet, but it's not. It's actually intended for adults. It is, a juicy jelly sachet. It comes out really wonderful. Okay, have some biscuits. Have some chocolate to go with your lunch. These are great deals you pick up from a supermarket, £1 at a time, 75p for the biscuits. So it's really cheap. Okay, have some chewing gum to chew it down with, get your digestion system going. Okay, the only item here which needs the ability to cook is the soup. Okay. And it comes with croutons, and it's a nice filler, great pick me up when it's hot, a nice hot soup to keep you going. Okay. Now, we have an interchangeable item here, like lunch or dinner. Both is the inability to cook. So, yeah, absolute favourite of all preppers, Seven Oceans ration, the standard emergency ration, which is full of everything great for you. Okay. However, so again, if you've got water, you've got fire, you've got a pan, let's go and keep the meals hot and nice. Okay, so nice boil in a bag of rice. Okay, combine that with pork balls, and these are absolutely the best I've ever tried. Okay, can cook pork balls. They're absolutely wonderful. All the other pork balls I've seen are just literally reconstituted meat. Really sort of kid stuff, nothing that you'd ever really want to eat unless you had to. My son likes them, but then he's 2 years old. Things like Irish stew, steak and curry are going to go really well. I haven't got pasta in sachets, but they go really great with any of these, especially meatballs. But boiling a bag of rice needs must when a devil drives. Okay. So moving on from that, you're going to want hot drinks again. So here we go, a little orange powder sachet, your Horlicks, your chocolate bar, chocolate powder, Okay, your sugars, your sweeteners, and those who want some bit more savoury. I picked out this from the supermarket. It's stock pot, so that can be made up into a lovely beef bouillon, which you can just drink down, lovely hot pick me up, and this is absolutely wonderful. You know, it'll keep you going, but like I said, it all depends on what you have the ability or inability to cook, and this is what this video is about. Okay, so here's dessert. Now I've deliberately gone for these children's desserts. They are a sponge dessert which contain either chocolate or milk filling, and they are wonderful. My children eat them like no tomorrow. And obviously for fresh fruit, you've got your pineapple and peach slices. Bit unconventional on the dessert, but there is a very good reason for all of this, and it's a combination that you may or may want to take into your own bug out bag. So this combination is made up because I had a look many videos on YouTube and my own experience with the British Army, and it's a very similar thing, but this was, you know, many years ago, and things have moved on a hell of a lot since then. Rations have become more nutritious, more tasting, more variety. However, what I thought would keep you going would have a high content, calorie content, protein content, etc., and would be, you know, non-repetitive if you chose. Good, that way. So let's use the camera. Yeah, good, great. So yeah, but on the rations, you try by any army rations, 24-hour rations, and you're talking 25, 30 pound minimum, and that's for one day's food. What I've got here, you know, a selection of even all of this together, you're not talking 15 pound. Okay, and that'll do, like I say, 2 people for 24 hours minimum, and because of the 7 oceans, that's a week's supply of food in itself. So even longer. So why pay 25, 30 pound for something when you can simply make it up yourself and bag it down? So a lot of these items, I'm not going to take an entire bag of that. If I was, you know, I was going to break it down, you know, take out the individual sachets, and, you know, there's your biscuits. That's your breakfast biscuits for one person, you know, depending on how hungry you are. Okay. Once again, you know, what chocolate powders, what orange powders, vitamin C powders I want to take. I wouldn't take, by myself, I wouldn't take 6 of the beef bouillons. No, once again, I break it down and take 1 for 24 hours, you know, and there we go, 1. Okay. So the space can be saved, and you can bug out with relative comfort and relatively quickly. So, I say we're stretching those preps we've already got, and we're making them into something better. And that's a theme of a lot of videos I've been doing lately. You know, taking something cheap, making it into something better. The only compromise I've made is because I will be using tins, because I refuse to pay £8 for something like boil in a bag, breakfast stew, pasta, meatballs, whatever. I refuse to pay it when I can buy, you know, this. And this is the top end of the market on meatballs, and I'll say it again, absolutely fantastic. Product placement, yay, can cook pork meatballs. Okay, that's £1.35 by itself. But if I wanted to, I guess on Mylar bags, you know, pour it in there and space save, zip it up. I knew I was going camping for the weekend, you know, or a day, so, you know, I wouldn't worry about contamination, bacterial growth, because those Mylar bags, you know, once again, put it all in there, boil in a bag, it turns it into a boil in a bag, seal up the bag, and it's done. So yeah, use the preps, make them great, and, you know, save yourself money. I really do think that these outdoor camping companies are a hell of a rip-off. I haven't looked around quite a few of them. Yeah, what they've got is a poor quality product, and they're charging a hell of a lot for it, and I don't understand why people go for that, and when this is readily available in your supermarket, and you go buy that in an hour and have it done. I mean, these sardines, these are my deal of the week, people. They absolutely deal of the week. Okay, retail normally 35p at Tesco, sardines and tomato sauce. I picked them up last week in these reduced aisle for 10 pence a unit, 10 pence. And it's not because they're running out of date. These actually have a date of 2021. Okay, whatever reason they were doing it, make stock, room for new stock, etc. They were getting rid of them, so I went out and bought, you know, 20 of them at 10 pence a unit. So £2, and I've got a great stock should I need to move on the go. So there we have it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and the quality is definitely better today because this new camera I have, and the lights are not so bad today. And I hope you can get out there and think about not spending so much money on bugging out. Don't fall for the trash that is this big companies saying this is what you need and we'll give you 800 calories. And I've said it before, you want 800 calorie breakfast, there's 2 sachets, put your quinoa with it, make it great, get some milk powder and throw it in, okay, and it all works. Okay, so for £15 I bugged out 2 people for 24 hours minimum, and with these 7 oceans, it's a lot longer than that if I want to rough it severely. But water is another thing. Don't be put off. So, it's nothing to put a case of water in your car and leave it there. 12 bottles of water, 24 bottles of water, 500 ml each. A person in camping conditions only needs 3 litres a day, depending on arduous task or not. You could probably go less. So let me know what you think, and please let me know what variations of this you have. If you got something better, and as cheap as these tins, please let me know, because I'd like to save space also. So until next time, it's been Deep in the Bunker. Take care, stay safe, and stay sane.